A warm welcome to AD4CV Radio News Update, coming to you live from Abuja, Nigeria's capital territory. I am Gracious Ogon. In a message to African leaders to commemorate Africa Day, Nigeria's President Muhammadu Buhari called for peace on the continent as a prerequisite for sustainable development. He emphasized the need for African leaders to ensure every effort is made to achieve success in ending violence and terrorism on the continent. And in South Africa, President Cyril Ramaphosa has announced the reopening of worship centers in the country from 1st June with strict guidelines. However, he says only 50 or less worshippers with masks will be allowed to worship depending on the size of the worship place. In another development, New Zealand and Australia are presumably winning the war over COVID-19, and the two countries are in talks over allowing resumption of flight operations in between their airspaces before the commencement of international flights across the world. According to the New Zealand Prime Minister, Jacinda Ardern, this Wednesday, a draft blueprint on safe travel between the two countries will be unveiled in early June. The mayor of Minneapolis, United States, Jacob Frey, this Tuesday, announced the dismissal of 4 police officers over the death of an Afro-American who died in police custody hours after an eyewitness video showed one of the officers kneeling on his neck despite being in handcuffs and pleading shortness of breath. And in Nigeria, the Christian Association of Nigeria and the Nigerian Supreme Council for Islamic Affairs have started working on modalities for the reopening of worship centers in the country. This, the group said, will be submitted to the Nigeria Center for Disease Control for review. Still talking Nigeria, the Center for Disease Control in the country this Tuesday confirmed 276 new cases of COVID-19, taking the total number of infections to 8,344. The country has so far recorded 2,385 recoveries and 249 deaths as a result of the pandemic. In a related development, the Director General of the Nigeria Center for Disease Control, Dr. Chikwe Hiekwazu, this Tuesday commissioned 2 new molecular laboratories, bringing the total number of such laboratories to 28. The Director General said the new laboratories are located in Afri Global Medicare Laboratory and Sahel Center for Molecular Diagnostics and Research in Ogun State and Katsina states of the country, respectively. In the same vein, the Deputy Governor of Kaduna State, Dr. Hadiza Sabuwa Balarabi, this Tuesday announced the extension of the state's lockdown by 2 weeks, following a review of the level of compliance to guidelines and spread of the disease in the state by its government. She added that government officials and agencies in the state will engage stakeholders in discussing conditions for reopening of activities. Crossing over to Asia, police in Japan this Wednesday arrested a suspect in the deadly arson at a Kyoto anime studio last year. According to police reports, Shinji Ahoba, the suspect, is a 42-year-old man who stormed the Kyoto animation studio in mid-July last year, setting it on fire, resulting to the death of 36 people. Still talking Asia, Singapore, with its coronavirus cases reaching 32,000, is again distributing disposable face masks to people through 400 vending machines across the sovereign island city-states. We'll take a short break now. When we return, first coronavirus contact tracing app launched. Stay with us. Details coming shortly.
The President, Muhammadu Buhari, has approved the establishment of the first set of 12 TED Fund Centers of Excellence, with 2 centers of excellence in each of the 6 geopolitical zones hosted by first, second, and third generation universities in the first instance in the year 2020. Those of the state universities, polytechnics, and colleges of education will follow in subsequent years. The focus areas of the centers of excellence, in line with the contemporary practice in the more competitive economies and technologies, are mainly in science-based disciplines. The approval, which came upon recommendation of TED Fund Board of Trustees and endorsement of the Honorable Minister of Education, Malam Adamu, is to signify a major paradigm shift in favor of research and excellence in our universities, but also a demonstration that the federal government has decided to directly establish and fund centers of excellence besides the ones funded by the World Bank, being the African Centers of Excellence. Details of the operations and guidelines for the inaugural TED Fund Center of Excellence are to be issued by the fund. Signed, Buhari Mikailu, Director, Physical Infrastructure Development, for the Executive Secretary.
Welcome back. You're watching AD4 TV Radio News Update. The Nigeria police in Abuja this Tuesday arrested 4 journalists in Delta State over an undisclosed offense. The Delta State chairman of Nigeria Union of Journalists, Michael Ikeogu, who confirmed this development, said efforts to reach the state's commission of police, Hafiz Noah, has been futile. It should, however, be noted that the frequent arrest of journalists in Nigeria by its police force has called to question the respect to freedom of expression and right to practice by professionals in the fourth realm of the estate in the country. More details will come on this story in our subsequent bulletins. On the technology scene, some eggheads in Switzerland have developed a coronavirus contact tracing application called Swiss COVID app, making them the first to launch a product incorporating the technology earlier in the year provided by Apple and Google. Their automated contact tracing tool uses smartphones to detect 2 people at close proximity at significant risk so that they are warned if either of them later tests positive for the virus. That's it on AD4 TV Radio News Updates, coming to you live from Abuja, Nigeria's capital. You can join the conversation on our website at www.ad4tvradio.com. Please follow us on our social media platforms at AD4TV Radio on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Instagram. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel at AD4TV Radio. Many thanks for watching. I am Gracious Ogon.